Hello and welcome to CE4 Discuss Archetypes in the Film Retablo. This is a film made in Peru, my study country. And yeah, so just a little background knowledge. Homosexuals in Peru, they are, legally allowed and legally same-sex marriage is on the come up. But culturally, they are not there yet. A lot of the community is against the LGBT community, and that's because of the Roman Catholic Church. Just a lot of the old just thoughts and religion just pressed against homosexuals. Um, so just with that in mind, we're going to continue. So the plot of the film. A boy named Segundo is very quiet, lives in a house of three with his mother, Anatolia, and his father, Noah. Segundo is closer with his father and is in the process of working with him to become a master artisan just like him. They make retablos together, which are small potato dough figurines made from potatoes. They make a dough, and from that they can sculpt them, and they do that for commission by markets and families around Peru. If they want, like, maybe you'd want like a family, like not like a portrait, but your family figurines, you can get those done. So that's the start. And rising action starts when Segundo discovers that his father performed a sexual act with a man on the way back home from the market one day. He caught this in the back of a truck. He was riding in the back. His father was in the front, and he peeked through the window and saw that happening, and immediately was confused, was not mad, but like just ultimately just super confused. Like, this is a culture that really does not shine light on homosexuals, and so seeing that in your father, someone that who you look up to so greatly, could be so shocking. And so he doesn't talk to anyone about his father's act, and determines later in the film that he doesn't want to work as an artist anymore. He feels lied to. He feels that he's not working towards a purpose that he wants. And that creates a lot of tension in the family, because his mother also is also very stressed out. In the movie, she has a kind of cripple. She walks around with a cane. And so yeah, next slide. The climax, ultimately, Noah goes on a business trip and is caught performing another sexual act. And this is kind of the final straw here, because Segundo comes home one day to see his father in his mother's arms on the ground, bloody, bruised, beat up for his homosexuality. And the mother doesn't immediately know why, and she later discovers it's because of his homosexuality, which then she feels very betrayed, and ultimately kind of rampages and destroys a lot of the workshop, a lot of just completely feeling, lost, like her last years and everything is betrayed. She even swears that if Noah touches Segundo or does anything to him, she'll kill him. And Noah is bedridden at this point. He has a hard time breathing. And later, and after this, we find out that Noah just doesn't want to talk, and it's not that he can't, it's that he feels so much shame brought on his family that he just doesn't want to speak at all. So moving on to the falling action, Segundo is very optimistic after his mother leaves the house, and just wants, that bond with his father back that he had, because he sees now that, it's not guaranteed, and tells him of the things that they can do to survive the winter. They can make enough retablos, eat the rest of the potatoes, and just live together. And Noah at this point has completely blocked off anything, all kind of optimism from his life, and ultimately takes his own life one morning after drinking a lot of alcohol in a well. He hung himself in near the house in shame of his actions. Um, so resolution. After deeply saddened by his father's suicide, he unties him, brings him into the house, cleans him up a little bit, and immediately starts working on a new retablo, which depicts, um, uh, in the box, when you open up the retablo, it depicted a son and a father creating retablos together, which is a little retabloception, if you get that Inception joke. It's like a box in a box, and he's depicting them making it together. It was really cute. And he buries that retablo with his father in a coffin, and says his final words to his father. And after that, the final scene shows Segundo packing all the art supplies in there. I don't know if they're towels, but it looks like a kind of like poncho they tie around. They can carry stuff on their back. He packs it all up, ties it around, puts on his father's hat, and walks out of his father's workshop for good, closes it up, and screen cut to black. That's the end of the movie. A really good ending. Honestly, I thought this movie was really, really good. I recommend it. But moving on, plot discussion. So the plot of the film meets some of the requirements of the archetypal journey and fails to meet others. Segundo is the main character, but does not go on a physical journey. The film set pieces, I could say, there's his home, there's Segundo's home, there's his friend's house, there's the market, and there's kind of like a soccer field. So there's not really a journey. The journey is more mental, with Segundo learning to accept and love his father for who he is when no one else will. And so in that, he also goes on a second journey by learning the process of becoming a master artisan, just like his father. At the beginning of the film, he's shown less experienced and kind of struggling to do what his father does. He's learning, and towards the end of the film, you can see a big difference, a lot of initiative taken, and he can make retablos by himself. So characters in terms of archetypes. So Segundo is the innocent main character, hero, protagonist. He's very, very quiet and has honestly only a few lines for the whole movie. When presented opportunities to give into his impulses like greed and lust, I can give one example. So one of his friends, it starts with an M. I forgot his friend's name. Mariano. It's something like that. He talks of getting laid a lot. He talks of meeting a lot of women. And so Segundo has this relationship with a market lady. And one night, Segundo's drinking a lot, and he goes into the lady's house. And, ultimately he stood over her and just didn't know what to do. And, you could see that, he's still a boy, and he shut them out. He walked out. I'm sure he felt scared. So he's really just an innocent character throughout the whole movie. He really doesn't do anyone wrong. Second, Noah, he's the creator for sure. He has a degree hung up in his, if you saw it earlier, it's like one of the first photos. I think it was for it was either the exposition Yeah, I think it was the exposition. You can see a degree hung up. He's been creating retablos almost his whole life, and he even got his son to continue his work. That's like the ultimate creator, to create someone to continue your work. So third, Anatolia, the caregiver. This character was his archetype was interesting during this movie because she really wasn't a bad mother at all. It was just a tough situation on the family. Segundo did not have clear communication with his mother, and she felt that Segundo was ignoring her and just wasn't receiving the love that she was giving him. So in total, yeah, she's a caregiver, and I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, have a great day.